always so grateful about. Paul was such a good teacher to me because I had only done these kinds of interactions when they would come into my office with people. Like sometimes people would come in with their people or attachments, and that was my only experience. So Paul was gracious enough to allow me to just develop and understand my abilities more completely.
Yeah, and that is really incredible. Also, too, listening to your story as a child and you were seeing those things. Also, too, when I was a child living on F.E. Street in Fresno, California, I would see like little skull faces with little bat wings flying into my bedroom and terrifying me. And
Yes.
yeah, it was that place. I can think of all the things that happened to me like it was just yesterday. And one of the most scariest things is when I was looking out the bedroom window and I heard this woman's voice, and I told this to Tim because he put out a book called Mimics, and there was a woman's voice which sounded like my mother, and she was in the orange grove, and she goes, Dale, my parents call me Dale, that's my middle name, Dale, come here, Dale, come here. And I'm going, what the hell? I could have sworn my mother was in the kitchen. I run into the kitchen, and there's my mother. If I went out to the orange grove, what would have happened to me? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, so spooky.
Yeah, I think that those beings are really similar, possibly, to what I experienced, because what their intention felt like to me was to get me frightened. And so after those first couple of experiences, of course I was frightened, but I had this ability to kind of, I was a real verbal kid, and I read early, and so I had a lot of chances to talk to grown-ups. I'm the oldest of my entire generation, so I had all these grown-ups to myself, and they were all very faith-filled people and very encouraging to me, even though they would say things like, oh, ghosts aren't real or monsters aren't real, in an effort to calm me down, because I sometimes would get really afraid to go to bed. But I had these great supports. Like my mom was a really good support to me and my grandparents, but I felt like those beings had at the heart of their intention this need to feed off of my being afraid.
Oh yeah. And the things that happened on the F.E. Street in Fresno, there was a whole lot more, but I'm not. This show's not about me; it's about you. So I'm not. I'm gonna stop.
But you really helped to encourage me because we had lots of times as we were driving to some far-flung places to talk about this, and it was really heartening to know, though it was so difficult for you to know that someone else had experienced virtually identical and you know, like everybody has shared very similar experiences. And I think the best thing, I mean, if nothing else, if anybody is listening to this that's out there that's curious about having these capacities, because I really believe everyone absolutely has these capacities. And as Sue mentioned, they kind of get shoved back to the back burner. But I think, you know, the intersection of thought and will and reality we're getting closer to spirit and science being very married, and I think that we're going to be able to have these repeatable experiences, but I believe that the training